You're live. Well, hello again, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever in the world you are. Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Monday. As you can see, it's very chilly over here, but beautiful Carlisle Studer is looking all fresh and summery. So I look forward to the 24th, which is around the corner, when it's is it the solar eclipse, right? And
Over. Oh, when the time switches?
when we have our longest night and our shortest day, and then it starts turning. What do you call that again? Oh, I hit
The
the blank.
summer
My
solstice,
brain.
I think.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Hmm.
That's right. So then we will start claiming our sun back.
Yeah,
Very
you're gonna
happy
steal
to,
it back.
yeah, feel it. It belongs here. Oh, lovely. Okay, Carla. Well, as always, it's so wonderful to have you back. How are you, beautiful? What's been happening in your life?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me back. I Yesterday I had such a cool experience. I went and I got a lymphatic drainage massage done, which I've never done before, and that was like the most magical, relaxing thing I've ever experienced because it's different than like a normal massage to loosen your muscles. It's not like a deep tissue. It's very, very gentle. And she even did this thing where she like sectioned my hair into different sections and then twisted it and pulled it to help release some of the fluid and lymph buildup over here. And oh my gosh, it was like the most magical thing in the world. And I felt so good afterwards. So I highly recommend people try that out, especially if you feel like you have stagnant lymph.
It is really, it's amazing. And funny you should mention because I've actually been reading a lot about the lymph drainage. I mean, I'm big on that, just with the whole dry
Mm-hmm.
brushing, the cupping. I mean, I'm a great believer in regular
Mm-hmm.
lymph drainage and just supporting your body in that way because, when we do these little things every day and regularly, um, it adds up every day. We give our
Mm-hmm.
body less work. We put stress. We put less stress on our immune system. We put less stress on everything. More active. We're breathing more, healthier.
Mm-hmm.
Everything just is lighter, better. We feel better. And at the end of the day, that all adds up, especially when we get older, and then the wear and tear really starts showing in the body. So it's amazing, and I agree. It's a wonderful thing to do those lymph drainage
Oh
massages.
yeah,
So.
it's so relaxing,
Mm.
so nice, and I think we sit so much now, and so getting something to actually manually move it helps. So I also have one of those like little mini trampolines that you see in like the workout videos that I jump on to help get my lymph moving too, which is a very fun way to do it.
Those things are excellent. They
Yeah.
are excellent. Those little mini trampolines, they are
Uh-huh.
brilliant. I agree. I must say, speaking about massage, when I lived in Thailand, I used to go once a week for my 2 hour on a Monday morning
Oh
Thai massage. Well, I mean, anyone who knows Thai, it's not exactly chilling and having a lovely,
yeah.
gentle hair tug,
No, nope.
especially not from an authentic Thai person who's a
Mhm.
local. She's grown up as part of her heritage and her lineage, and she's probably 300th generation Thai masseuse.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and of course, she gets twisted and contorted, and I miss her so much. It was just beautiful. Every Monday morning, 10
Mm.
o'clock, I used to go and see her name was Chloe. Um,
Hmm.
and she was this little Thai lady, and boy, she sit and she pull and she twist and she contort. And of course, I do yoga. I do yoga, so it's nice to be. You need to be flexible. It's really
Yeah.
sore.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
wow, amazing! It really is amazing. I highly recommend whatever it is you enjoy, do it.
Yeah. No, I'll never forget the first time I got a Thai massage because I didn't know what to expect. And those ladies are small and they are mighty and powerful. Like that one point, she like wrapped the sheet around my back and like pulled it back, and my back was cracking. And they really do. They walk on your back, but afterwards you feel like a whole new person.
$1 million, and then she sits on you and she puts her feet into your back and she pulls you. She goes, oh, Shanti, and every time she has a crack, she's like, 20 baht, 20 baht. I was given 20 baht every time something cracks.
It's so funny too, because you're only wearing underwear, so like your boobs are out and they have you by your back, and you're like, what's going on?
Well, yeah, we usually wear these very unattractive, like big baggy kind of outfits, you know. And there's nothing fancy about your run-of-the-mill local. I mean, obviously, if you're in a hotel in Bangkok or something, you're going to
Mm-hmm.
have a five-star experience. But the local person, and I wasn't in a tourist area, so I was just
Mm-hmm.
blending in with the locals. Me, I'm double their height, but I became one of the locals there. So you just, you go there, there's three beds and you lie, and anyway, it's a wonderful experience. Really
Absolutely.
missing it, but really, really cool. Anyway, I'm really so interested because what we're going to be chatting about tonight is really doing, as you say, a deep dive into castor oil, which is
Mm-hmm.
amazing because it really is a miracle oil. And I think it is probably one of the underdogs, I think, when it comes to
Yes.
oils. You know, a lot of people will go for your olive oil, maybe, or your coconut, whatever, especially when
Mm-hmm.
we're looking at body, because that's more obviously the castor oil is more for the body.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it is, and it's so inexpensive compared to your other oils as well. And I think it's inexpensive because it's the underdog. And I think,
Mm-hmm.
we tend to want to pay more for something and then we think it's a better quality, but that's very often not the case at all, right? So I'd love to hear what you have to say. Over to you, beautiful.
Absolutely. So I was listening to a podcast with this woman who she's a naturopath doctor, and she had her own experience with how healing castor oil packs were. And her name is Marisol Tiero, and she has her own company that does castor oil and all these kinds of things. And I can put the link in the comments for anyone who wants to see some of her stuff. And so we talk about castor oil so much. And I've been using castor oil packs for a few years because my mom found them. I think just like on YouTube, she's always finding interesting things online and stuff like that. And I'd had some like thumb pain. And so I started doing castor oil packs on my thumb. And I noticed that after a few sessions, it completely went away. And I agree with you. It
Can
absolutely
you
is like, oh, go ahead.
explain to us what a castor oil pack is? You say castor oil, I say castor oil. So can you explain to us what exactly that is, please? So,
Yes.
and how does it help the pain? I mean, and I know you doing it on your liver as well. Explain to us
Mm-hmm.
how exactly that works.
Okay, so it's used. I say castor oil pack because the other way that castor oil is used is as like a modern laxative. So people will drink it to kind of get their bowels moving, and only in tiny, tiny, tiny amounts. And that's only if it's prescribed by a doctor or something, because it is really potent. And it's actually very funny because that's in like fascist Italy. They used to use it as a torture tool. They would make people drink castor oil because it would give them horrible diarrhea and it would dehydrate them. So it was like a miserable experience. So a castor oil pack is not taking it internally. You don't want to do that unless you're advised to by a doctor or something like that, or a naturopathic medicine practitioner. And so a castor oil pack is when you take castor oil and then you want to take a piece of fabric and you want it to be organic cotton or wool if possible. Because what castor oil does is it's so thick, and it actually is one of the only oils that goes deep into the tissues of your cells. So if you put jojoba oil or olive oil on, it's going to absorb into your skin into the first layer, but castor oil is actually going to penetrate deeper into your cells and your tissues, which is why it's good at curing inflammation and all those other things. But you also really want to be careful, because if you're using like a dirty old rag to do a castor oil pack, if you have laundry detergent or bacteria in it, it's going to also bring that into your skin with you. So you really want to make sure you have a good organic wool flannel. You can get those if you're in the US. They sell them at Sprouts, online, I'm sure, or organic cotton, something soft. And what most people like to do is to pour like about 2 tablespoons of castor oil onto the flannel and then put it on the area that they wanted to target, whether it's for pain or for detoxing. The one I wanted to talk about the most today was doing it on your liver and your stomach, because what that does is it's going to target inflammation and digestion. And those are two things that kind of regulate like the rest of our body. So if our detox pathways aren't open and our digestion's not functioning properly, the whole rest of our body is going to fill with stress and inflammation. So those are like a really good area to start that everyone can do. So a castor oil pack is putting it on a flannel or on some cotton and then putting it directly like, right on your liver right here. And then some people like to add heat, especially in like the winter, colder months. You can add some heat to help it really absorb into your skin and open up your pores. You don't have to add heat. I like to personally add heat. I run kind of cold. And especially if you're doing it for like menstrual cramps or something like that, and you want to bring extra blood flow to the area, you can do a hot water bottle or a heating pad over it as well.
Do you, let's say, I mean, is it fine just to you obviously put the oil on the pack, I mean, on the cloth, and then you just place it on the area that you would like it, and then place the heating pack or something on that, so you don't have to like cling wrap yourself. You know what I'm saying? Put cling wrap around it or something, and then it's just the cotton flannel.
Yes, yeah? So that's like the less messy way of doing it. And I'll sometimes put it directly on my skin and then put the flannel over it.
Okay.
If I'm just feel like that would be quicker. And you can also, if you buy a flannel, I'll use the flannel and for a few hours, and then I'll put it in the fridge in like a little Ziploc, and then I'll use it for up to like 30 days or something like that. So you can use it over and over again if you're taking good care of it and it's not getting like a bunch of bacteria on it. But if you can do it overnight, that's going to be best, I would say. And it's also really important to buy really high quality castor oil, because you want to buy one that's organic and hexane free, because a lot of those, if they've been, doctored with, they're going to have chemicals in them, and you really don't want to do that. Like a cold pressed hexane free organic castor oil will be best. And if you can find one in glass bottle versus plastic, that's better, because like I said, it can break things down. So if it's in a plastic bottle, it might be breaking that down. But the most fascinating thing is if we go way back to 4000 BC is when they first have history of them using castor oil. And so it's like a deeply...
yeah. Before you go on to that, here's a question. Yeah, sorry, and please hold that.
Go ahead.
But I just thought the question from one of our viewers, and I thought it was worth asking here. Can it work for chronic back pain or only organ detox? So is it just something that's like on a deep internal? Because I've never done a castor oil pack. I put castor oil on my body and I'll sit for an hour or so, that I've recently started doing, which is amazing. And I want to just say, some of the viewers actually who did that as well, because we spoke about this on one of Bryce's shows. It's one of their yoga cleansing practices. And she said she did it, but the detoxing, it was uncomfortable afterwards. So just remember to drink lots of water when people do that as well.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, sorry. So just if we can ask just about the chronic back pain, what is your take on that?
Yes. So it will absolutely help pain, because it's going to help reduce inflammation in like specific targeted areas. So like I said, the castor oil is going to get deep into those cells, and castor oil is high in antioxidants as well. So it's going to reduce free radicals. And so putting it on, especially I think if pain, I would do a castor oil pack with heat as well, because it's going to kind of help loosen those muscles and stuff like that. But so it's also, it'll help you reduce, even just doing castor oil packs anywhere is going to help your body reduce cortisol and stress. And so when your body's in a relaxed state, more healing can take place as well. So besides just targeting the area of pain, actually reducing the inflammation on like a small level by getting into those cells, it's going to help lubricate. It's going to help bring blood flow to that area. It's going to help, and blood flow is, blood is very healing. So if you're getting blood to that area, it's going to help it heal and reduce pain as well, and circulation. So I've seen, my mom tells a story of one of her friends' boyfriends was, had so much knee pain, he couldn't play softball anymore. And she told him to do castor oil packs on his knee. And after he did it, I think like about 5 to 7 sessions, he can play softball again. So he's still playing out there, doing it okay. So it absolutely can be used for targeted pain areas as well.
How long do you keep it on those areas? Like if you, let's say, have a hot water bottle on, do you keep it on an hour, half an hour?
I would say a minimum of 1 hour. Yeah, you can do, you can do it like if you're, You can do it up to 2 hours and even longer. It just depends on how long you want to sit still with your castor oil pack on. If you're doing it without heat, you can do it even overnight. You don't want to have a heating pad on you like all night. I think that can be dangerous, but I think up to 2 hours is great, but at least 1 hour you need.
Okay, that's great. Nice, interesting questions. And your mama, hello, Carmen, is of course in the chat. And very interesting. Someone is talking, and she's also chatting about it here. Is it heals eye issues? So they're saying if you put in castor oil, 2 drops of castor oil, here I am. I also read comment on the other day that 2 drops in eyes can heal vision issues. What do you say about that? Now that is going to get me to go and get the best castor oil ever tomorrow. And I'm going to drop it in my eyes. I'll be seeing so clearly after that.
That's hilarious. That's what they say. It's good for your skin too, because it helps your skin produce collagen and it can help your eyelashes and your eyebrows grow. So they say Cleopatra used to use it as like a beauty tool and put it in her eyes and around her eyes. So a lot of women will put it like around their eyes to help reduce like wrinkles. And then if you want your eyelashes to grow faster, you can put it on your eyelashes. And if you want your eyebrows to grow faster or thicker, you can put it on there too. It's really, really viscous and sticky and thick. So don't do it near something that's like leather or wood. Yeah. Be careful about that. And then also don't do a castor oil pack if you're pregnant, because it can, I believe, induce labor. So like doctors will say, like midwives will give if they're overdue, they'll have like a woman do a castor oil pack to help induce labor, but don't take my advice on that. Obviously talk to a professional about that, but don't do it if you're pregnant and not advised.
I drank it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Did it work?
Terrible. It's so disgusting.
Oh, I can't imagine. I feel like it's just so thick.
It was after like 15 hours of labor. I couldn't anymore. We heard the story. You got to like drink castor oil and it will bring on the labor. Well, I don't know if it increased it at all, but yeah, that was after a long time. It was not nice, but it is known. I mean, I don't know around there, but over here, that if you drink castor oil, you bring on labor. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. That is so interesting. Yeah, I've never drank it before, but that's what they say is that Cleopatra used it as a beauty tool and put it in her eyes. And so, yeah, like a little drop in your eyes. I would think that would be safe. But like I said, make sure you're buying a really good, high quality castor oil as well.
Your mom's saying it supposedly helps the cataracts, and that's very interesting.
Because cataracts, I believe, are like overcalcification, and a lot of things in our body will lead to a buildup of excess calcium. And so since it targets deep into your cells and it soaks in and it breaks down free radicals and antioxidants and breaks down those little like scar tissue type things, I think that would probably make sense that it would help for cataracts.
So how often would you put it in? Like once a day, twice a day? I mean, I would imagine not more than twice a day.
Yeah, I would start off. I've never put it in my eyes. So I would start off with once a day, I would say. Yeah.
Anyone know how can you actually put that in your eyes? I'd hate to overdo it, but I want to try that most definitely. And my mum's got cataract, so I would like her to try that as well. It's very, very interesting. I know. Wow. I mean, you see, Carlisle, you are such a beautiful, amazing hive of incredible information. I mean, I've been using castor oil because I do the oil cleaning on my face. You know, when you take the hot cloth and you just put it on your face for a minute to open the pores, and then the castor oil, and I mix it with a little bit of peppermint oil.
Oh, wow.
Essential oil. So it really, then you leave it on for a minute or two, and then you just wipe it off. That takes off your makeup, and you don't need moisturizer, anything. It is amazing. I've been for years. So I highly recommend that. And then I'd put it in my hair as well so I use that and sometimes coconut oil. And I like that very much. And definitely as a detox. Just, as I said, Bryce, their yoga clinic works with detoxing body once a week. You literally sit and you cover your whole body in castor oil. You just sit for an hour and a half. But the first time you're doing it, I would not recommend you do that long, 10, 15 minutes. And then you either get in a hot bath or a shower. I'd say a shower because I had a bath, but that bath was so greasy, it took me about an hour to clean. I would not say you should get into a bath after that.
It'd be too hard to get out of the bath when
Oh,
you're all greasy.
yeah, you like slip, slip, slip. But yeah, so but I'm
Oh, wait, your sound broke up for a second. What did you say?
oh no, I was just
There we go.
saying
We're back.
it's so amazing to hear the finer details of yeah, my internet connection's unstable, it's telling me. Okay, my back.
Okay, I can hear you again. But yeah, no, it's really fabulous for all things as well. I've done it on my hair and it helps bring blood flow to your hair follicles and moisturize your hair follicles. So that's how it stimulates hair growth. But like if you have a dry scalp and if you just want to put it, start at the roots and go all the way down to your ends, moisturize your ends a little bit. And then if you have like one of those little like microfiber hair wraps, just like wrap it up in your head and even sleep on it. Like when I do a hair mask, I like to do it whether it's with castor oil or beef tallow or pig lard or whatever. I like to do it overnight. So just to kind of like let it all soak in. And then it's so thick, it's hard to get out in the shower. So I usually do
Yeah.
like an apple cider vinegar rinse. Like I'll do 1 part apple cider vinegar, 2 parts water, and pour that over my scalp and my hair and let it kind of break it up for like 15 minutes. However, I think that if you dye your hair, the apple cider vinegar might strip the dye a little bit because I think my hair looked like almost red after I did it. So I was like, whoops. But so it's good to be aware of that. But it made it so soft, so it was worth it.
I'm just also looking here. Somebody was saying to put it, get sunburn and use the castor oil for healing and you won't peel. I mean, this is amazing. You see, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If it's looks like it's all ladies,
Yeah.
for this information as well, because that is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that, and it makes sense. It's just wow, what a gem.
Absolutely.
I'm interested. I just assumed it was also just when it comes to being cost effective, it's cheaper than the rest of the coconut type olive oils. Is it the same there with you guys? Is it also, I suppose, if you get the organic extra virgin, it's going to be quite expensive. It's usually like that here. So
Yeah, I think so. There's this the doctor who I learned a lot of this from, Dr. Miriam. She has her company is called Queen of the Thrones, and I think it's probably about $30 for a pretty big bottle. And she says you start off using 2 tablespoons at a time for the packs, and you get to decrease it as a while, so it should last a long time. But hers is like the cold pressed, organic, hexane free, and it comes in the glass bottle. But yeah, it's going to be a little more expensive, but you don't have to use as much. A little bit can go a long way because it's so thick.
yeah, wow, I love it though. I must say it's amazing. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
It's an amazing product. So wow,
Yeah.
enjoying.
And
I'm also just
oh, sorry, go ahead.
arthritis. No, I'm just looking at the comments here, and it's so nice because it's really good to see that obviously a lot of our viewers are also using it and know a lot about it. So it's fun. But anyway, sorry I interrupted you. Carry on, Carla.
Oh no, I was gonna say it's really cool because I think that things that are healing have multiple layers to them, and it's also used as like an anointing oil. So they would use it historically to anoint people when they were coming into times of great like royal power and things like that. And I thought that was really cool. And I think that when you do a lot of like detoxing, you're kind of supporting your body in that way, and you're kind of letting like emotions and stuff go. Because I know we talk about all the time how anger, resentment, bitterness is stored in the liver, and our liver and our digestive system are one of the things that we need to support, because whenever we become stressed, people always hear that stress is bad for your body. But when you are in a state of stress or fight or flight, your other systems in your body actually shut down. So you're not digesting food properly. You might not be cycling properly. You might not be fertile. The things that are happening kind of shut down. And so that's why I think like castor oil packs on your liver, because we have 500 different systems that take place in our liver. And that's where we process our hormones. And so doing a castor oil pack on your liver, just even 5 nights a week starting off, is like something that everyone can benefit from. And you can see that it'll leak into other areas of your life, because if your liver is functioning, it might be actually easier for you to wake up in the morning because your body's not working so hard to detox. And it might be easier for you to digest your food, and your hormones might balance out. So, and it also helps break up what's it called? Biofilm. So it's good for your gut because, like I said, it gets deep into those cells, and we have like biofilm that protects these like bad bacteria in our gut. So it's going to help break up the biofilm, which is going to help repopulate your gut with good bacteria. And if you're having trouble with like constipation or bowel movements, it really helps get that flowing as well. So because it has relaxing effects and it helps your body actually release oxytocin and reduce cortisol. So you're going to be eliminating, you're going to be relaxing. And if you fix your gut, like if you have good bacteria in your gut, then you're actually going to be absorbing more nutrients. So you can eat really healthy foods, but if you're not absorbing them, they're just going through you. You're not going to have all the good effects until you really heal your gut. So it's like something that everyone can start off with. And like I said, the organic ones might be more expensive, but it's cheaper than, like a really fancy probiotic. So it's a great place to start.
Absolutely. Someone wants to know what brand of castor oil you were talking about. I think you did mention it though.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you.
Right?
Queen of the Thrones is the one I was talking about that this doctor formulated and recommended, and it's in glass, and you can order. She sells like pack kits, so it'll come with something that you can tie around your liver or your pelvic area, and it's super easy. It's like organic cotton. You can just tie it and go to sleep, because it's even better if you can sleep with it. So like if you get the full 7 or 8 hours of it and you do the pack overnight, especially on your liver or your pelvic stomach area, you're going to get so many benefits from it. And it's like, she calls it like the no mess castor oil pack, because it's really low maintenance, which is a good place for people to start, because it can be overwhelming to deal with and look intimidating or sound intimidating at first.
But the benefits are always amazing. So that's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I would definitely look into that for sure.
Absolutely. And it was originally used as, they used it to keep lamps going all night, like as like a traditional oil. And then the Egyptians started using it as an embalming technique to help preserve bodies and to help them pass over into the afterlife, and to help keep the integrity of the bodies like the same way. So it was used for embalming, it was used for lighting lamps. And then the Romans started to realize that it was really good for hormone issues and for PMS and things like that. And then the Chinese medicine doctors use it for inflammation, but you can look all over history and how all these civilizations were using it for so many different reasons. And like you said, it's underrated and it's kind of been forgotten about until now. So I think it's very interesting to see how it was used for all of these different things.
Wow. Yeah. Amazing. You definitely are a wealth of information about this, Carlisle. How would you say, I think, a lot of people have gotten onto the whole coconut oil bandwagon, and they have for many years now. I don't know, would you be able to maybe know the difference between the coconut and the castor? Because a lot of people would use the castor oil for similar things to the coconut oil. The face cleansing, the hair mask. Mm-hmm. I always put coconut oil on my body. I don't use moisturizer. I use the virgin organic coconut oil. I love that. I love that on my body. That's like, and also I use it often on my hair and stuff like that to oil pull the coconut oil. So what would be the difference, do you think? It doesn't have the extraction, the detoxing, the coconut oil, right? So anything that you want to detox and like would be the castor oil. But just for daily use, would you recommend the coconut oil as well, from what you know?
I love, because it's super weird, but the other day I had a spoonful of coconut oil with salt, and I was like, that was a really good snack. Like, I crave coconut oil for some reason. I don't know why. I probably need more fat in my diet, but like if I make like a hot chocolate with cacao, I love doing like a little bit of coconut oil. The carrot salad we talk about is good with coconut oil. And it's like I said, like the coconut oil is not going to penetrate deep into the cells like castor oil, but I think coconut oil is really great for, I believe it's like a sealant. So it can help seal in moisture to your body. So it might not, deliver the moisture deep into those cells, but the moisture you do have, it will help seal. And then it's antibacterial, antifungal. So it's really good for like rashes, I would say. Like I've never used a castor oil pack for a rash. I use it more for targeting organ systems or targeting pain areas. But I think coconut oil is really great it's very soothing. it's a cooling oil. So like olive oil is a warming oil and coconut oil is a cooling oil. So for things like rashes and flare-ups, I think it's really good. But you can also, I've never tried this because castor oil is so thick, you can oil pull with castor oil if you just use 1 to 2 teaspoons. So I will try that and let you guys know what I think. And I bet it would be really good for your gums and your teeth, but seems like it would taste a little funky.
Wow, with castor oil. I was actually
Yeah.
sitting here literally thinking about that now, wondering, because I know, the ancients did it with sesame oil. The
Mm-hmm.
original oil pulling was done with sesame oil. So then,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people now, because coconut oil and any extra virgin sort of cold pressed oil is fine, for that sort of thing. I mean, depending on whether you like the taste or not. But I
Mm-hmm.
would imagine you're right with the detoxing. So you say you can use that, what, 2 teaspoons? So you're obviously using a lot less because with the
Yeah.
coconut oil, I'd say you're probably using a tablespoon or more, depending on how much you like in your mouth. Each person
Yeah.
is different. But so you're really using a lot less.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you swirl it? Because
That's
you
what
need to swirl it.
it would be a really good jaw workout. I bet it would help define all those jaw muscles. But, and like I said, I think that I've never tried it internally. I think that sounds a little gross, but I would assume that maybe once it warms up, it loosens up a little bit. I don't know. I bet it would just be really, really good for your gums. And I've never heard of someone using this before, but this doctor that owns the company that I was talking about or that works with them said that she will oil pull sometimes with castor oil. And I thought that was really, really, really interesting. And she's a naturopath doctor. And she says the first thing she does for all of her clients before she puts them on any supplements is gets them to start doing castor oil packs on their liver, on their pelvic, like stomach area every night. And she says she prescribes it like 5 days a week. And then from there looks to see how people improve and then starts giving supplements. But I think it's a really good, I love supplements. I take some, but I think that if you can find other ways to get what you need and kind of help give your body the tools that it can to repair itself versus just replacing a vitamin or something, I think is really good. So we talked about how it helps detox the liver, but we have phase 1 and phase 2 of our liver detox pathways. And you want to, different nutrients will support different levels of those phases. And so glutathione production is something you need for, I think it's phase 2 of your liver detox. And so when you do a castor oil pack on your liver, it's going to help your liver produce glutathione and detox naturally. And so that is why I think people feel it so quickly, because it really does help bring that and produce that. So when I do a castor oil pack on my liver, I also drink some liver detox tea that has like parsley and milk thistle and all those things, because that supports phase 1. So I feel like I'm getting kind of both phases of the liver detox as well. And our liver is so important for everything. So I think that's why she starts off with the liver and the stomach for treating most of her clients with castor oil.
Yeah, it's like one of my friends who's a naturopath speaks about the liver as being it's like being the main bedroom. Like you have a main bedroom in the house, the liver would be like the main bedroom in the body.
Mm-hmm.
So organ, and it's so important to take care of that because of course it filters all the toxins, etc., etc. So it's a very important organ to take care of. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
so, if that's okay, everything else is okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've never used it. I've only ever done it once on my kidneys before, and I've never seen anyone talk about it, but I did read that it might help break up, kidney stones or oxalates or things like that, that kind of gather in our kidneys. I've never had kidney stones, so I've never had that problem, but I do think that if you have issues with your kidneys or you have struggled with kidney stones, and if you have a naturopathic doctor, you could ask about it. It might be helpful for that as well. It's kind of tricky. You might have to have someone help you like set it all up. I had to have my mom help me because I was just like lay it on my stomach for an hour and put some castor oil pack on like my kidney area. But I think that is another way. She didn't talk about that one in the episode I was listening to, but from what I've read and how it does break up scar tissue and help all of your organs just even a little bit, that I think it might be helpful for kidney stones or kidney problems as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. I'm just looking at also another activated charcoal and chlorine dioxide. Yeah, activated charcoal is very good for as a detox as well. And I also find bentonite clay, and I know that is a questionable one for some people, but I find great joy with bentonite clay. You know, just the clay mask as well,
Yeah,
and
you can do it on your armpits.
yeah, yeah. And also, I use, if I don't have olive oil, not olive oil, sorry, coconut oil for oil pulling, I'll use bentonite clay in the same way instead of oil pulling. That's really, really good. It's very good for also people put it in toothpaste and stuff. It's very whitening. And I know, and then I also sometimes, once in a while, I'll just have mix it with water, swig it down as a bit of a full-on organ detoxer. But if you do that, you need to drink a lot of water. And I would not recommend you do that every day or even every second day or every third day. I would say you would maybe do something like that once a month. You just, and I know that's questionable, so I don't want all the health fundies coming in here and telling me, you shouldn't do that, because I know there's lots of conflicting topics around that, but I really like it. It works for me. So
Absolutely.
Anything in moderation, and I think we've got to do things that actually work. Yeah, something else about the milk thistle, also good for breast milk production. I have heard that, most definitely. Also beer. Drink
Oh,
beer.
really?
I don't know. I was never a beer. Was it a hops? What is that?
Yeah.
What is that? Is it Guinness, that Irish beer, whatever, the black one?
Yes, the really dark one.
Milk stout. Apparently that. It's very. I don't drink beer at all, so I wouldn't know. But I have heard that over the years.
That is funny.
Yeah, absolutely. Milk thistle as well. Sure.
Yeah,
I'm just seeing that.
Yeah, I've done castor oil packs on my breasts before as well, because you have like a lot of our lymph is in our armpit areas, and especially if you're a woman in your breast areas, you have tons of lymph nodes in this area. And so I didn't do it for a particular reason. I just know that I have stagnant lymph and I have, a few swollen lymph nodes. And one of the things I was wanting to do is kind of target an area with lots of lymph, because the castor oil pack will get your lymph flowing. So also it was very relaxing too. So I just put the oil directly on my boobs and then did the flannel over it and then the heating pad, and did it for about an hour. And it was really, really great. I felt very awesome afterwards. So if you feel like you have stagnant lymph, it's good to target areas with lots of lymph nodes as well.
So what actually happens? Does it draw out the toxins into the cloth? Is that what it does? Or does it dissolve it so then it goes into the lymphatic system, and then just through drinking lots of water, you would then obviously detox your system in that way as well? And of course, I would imagine maybe dry brushing definitely would help for that, or I do the dry brushing as well as the body cupping, which is amazing. I just love that. Cold in winter now, so I do it every second or third day just because it's cold. Usually I would do that day, so does it actually draw it out into the cloth that you're putting it on, or does it dissolve it?
The way I understand it, because I think that when I was listening to this doctor talking about it, she was saying that they're not completely sure, but there was no evidence that it's actually pulling the toxins out through your skin. What it is doing is it's facilitating the processes in your body to remove those toxins and flush them out. So like when you move your lymph is kind of a big part of like your interacting, like it coincides with your immune system to flush toxins out. And it's one of your detox pathways. And so what it really does is it helps regulate your body to get rid of those toxins in the healthy way versus just pulling them out through your skin. But that's what you were saying. I like to do like dry brushing before I get in the sauna, or if I do a castor oil pack on an area with a lot of lymph. I think we have a bunch of lymph in our like stomach. I think we have a big lymph node right here. So I do a castor oil pack on my stomach. If I do it during the day and not at night, I like to get in the sauna after, because once you get your lymph moving and your body's going to detox it out, it's going to help to kind of sweat it out afterwards, or kind of, go for a walk or something like that. If you do it in the middle of the day, I found I get the most out of it when I do it with the sauna as well. Or if I do the sauna and then I go to bed, I'll do it too. But yeah, so that's what I don't understand. I didn't understand that it does break up the toxins because it gets deep into those cells, but I don't think it's actually like, pulling out pathogens through the pores of your skin. It's more so facilitating it to exit your body naturally.
That's amazing. That sounds even better. And that's why it's important, right, to drink a lot of water. I mean, after you've been doing something like this, I mean, water we should be drinking anyway, but especially when we're doing detoxing stuff like this, water is really, really important here. As someone's saying as well, Edgar Casey, healthcare reading inform us that castor oil packs may be used to improve assimilation, elimination, and circulation of the lymphatic system. And when the lymphatic system is working and it's clear and it's all happy and dancing around, your body is healthy because it's clear of toxins and all sorts of things like that. So, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Castor oil it is, guys and girls. Russia. Yeah, that's amazing, Carlisle. Awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was great.
Do you have any links or something that we can maybe put below?
Yeah, I'll give you the name I'll send you, I'll comment the name of I just ordered a castor oil packs from the Queen of the Thrones lady I was talking about. And then I'll put her name because she's been on a ton of YouTube videos and a ton of podcasts. And she goes in depth about how her journey with, helping her cure her fatigue and stuff like that kind of started with her discovering castor oil. And she has tons and tons of resources on it. So I'll put her name. And if you just, type it into YouTube or Google or something, a ton of podcasts will come up. And there's a lot of information about that as well. And my mom has a castor oil book. I think it's called, like, if she's still in here, maybe she'll comment it. It's like the magic healing oil. I'll comment that as well. I think it's a pretty big book. And I think it goes into the history and all of, like, the magic side and the mystical side of castor oil as well as how it heals. So that looks pretty cool too.
Yeah. Wow. This has been amazing. I just love chatting about this. And, I just love the natural way of doing things, taking responsibility for our bodies, putting energy in, giving ourselves things that support us, trying new things, working with our bodies to see what works for us and what works best, And I love this because our bodies are so intelligent, and when we do this sort of stuff for them, it really is a declaration of self-love, and your body responds accordingly. And it's going to tell you very quickly what it likes and what it doesn't like. You will know. I mean, if you're using something and you will know if you're having a detox, because when you're having a detox, you could feel nauseous, you could have a bout of diarrhea, you could have a headache, you could be snotty for 24 hours. But you kind of know. And you also know when you're having a violent reaction to something. Your body will tell you when you're having a violent reaction and when you should not be doing it, or when you just feel, oh my gosh, I've got to get rid of whatever this is that's black. Let me just drink water. And water will really help it as well. So, wow, thank you so, so, so much for another very, very cool podcast here with me. Is there anything else you have to say just in passing?
The one thing I did forget to mention was another area that's really helpful is doing it on your thyroid. That's something I would be very cautious about, and maybe start with your liver first. And if you have a doctor, a naturopath doctor, consult them, because your thyroid is like right below. It's like a 4th inch below our skin right here. And it helps every single function of our body. And so many women have thyroid issues. Like, it's becoming more and more prevalent. And so I would make sure to, do the liver detoxing first and maybe consult someone, because it's a sensitive gland and it does so much. But I've seen some people talk about it really helps with, inflamed thyroids and thyroid function as well. So if you struggle with that, maybe do some of your own research first and make sure it's completely safe. But that's another one that I forgot to mention that I've seen be very beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Thank you. I said in passing. I didn't mean to say in passing. I meant to say in closing.
Yes.
So that didn't feel right when I said it. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me again. And really, it's always such a pleasure to have you on. You're a wealth of knowledge. And I'm just happy you're here. Very,
Me
very happy
too.
to share your knowledge. So I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time again, where we
Yes.
do more chats with you, and look forward to our next interesting topic.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll have to go try out some oil pulling with castor oil and let you guys know what I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely try the eyes, putting it into my eyes, and My mom's got cataract, or she's got a cataract coming in her eye. She's got to go and have it taken out in a few months. So I'm thinking if we can do something with that and it heals, that'll be amazing. She's very into healing her body, so I'm sure she'll benefit from that as well. Yay.
Absolutely. That's
Thank you,
marvelous.
guys
Well,
and
yes,
girls.
thank you so much. I love
Yeah.
hanging out.
Yeah, me too. One day I'll get to give you a hug soon.
Yes.
God, God bless you all, everybody. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Carlisle and myself here on Solutions with Aquarius Rising Africa. And I have no doubt you got so much out of not only tonight's talk, but the previous ones as well. If you haven't watched our talks from previous sessions or podcasts we've done together, very, very interesting. Always a wealth of information. Just getting to dissect and understand this amazing body that we have. So, if you haven't already, please give us a like, a share, and a subscribe. We really, really appreciate that. God bless you all. Take care of yourself. And we'll see you back very, very soon.
See you soon.
Guys.